MCAS 6 Academy online. This is for question number 5. So this question is more about vocabulary than it is about the solving process. So a scatter plot, let me get my pen, a scatter plot here. If you remember correctly, it is a coordinate plane, and I'm only going to use quadrant 1 here, that has plotted data that is in a pattern. Either that pattern is moving as x gets larger, y gets larger, and we call that a positive correlation. We could also have one graphing two data sets against each other where this is the pattern that it follows. As x gets larger, y gets smaller, and that would be considered negative. Let me write that on there. This one is considered positive. They call that the up and up, and that means that you're moving as x gets bigger, y gets bigger, you're moving in a positive direction. But we do have, when something moves up, the other moves down, and that's what we're considering a negative relationship between the two quantities. And then we have a situation where there is such randomness between the two data sets, something like this, that as x gets bigger, there's really nothing happening to y to say that there's some sort of trend. So we would call this no relationship or no correlation between the data, because for some reason there's no connection between the data on the y-axis and the data on the x-axis. So in this case, if we are graphing hours of sleep per night versus the height of different people. So on the y-axis, we would have hours of sleep, and then on the on the x-axis, we'd have hours of sleep. On the y-axis, we'd have heights of different people. And do you think there's going to be a correlation? So if you ask questions to people, how long do you sleep? How tall are you? How long do you sleep? How tall are you? And you started to graph those two data sets versus each other, do you think it would be a positive correlation or a positive relationship? That's our first choice. As you sleep longer, you are taller. Does that make sense? Or a negative correlation or relationship. As you sleep longer, you are shorter. Or a no relationship. As you sleep longer, that doesn't really relate anything to your height. And the correct answer is, hopefully you figured it out, there is no relationship between the hours of sleep per night and the heights of different people.